Space Station Delta Prime, orbiting the neutral zone. Large meeting room was silent. Blue lights glowed softly from the walls. Long windows showed a view of the stars. In the center of the room, two sides sat across from each other. On one side, humans in dark uniforms. Their leader was Commander Rex Marlowe, a tall, confident man in his 30s. His smile looked sharp like a knife that cuts without touching. On the other side, tall, elegant alien beings known as the Varniks. They were proud, intelligent, and dangerous. Their leader was Ambassador Illyrital, silver-skinned, with glowing blue eyes. Her face was calm, but her mind was not. They were here to sign a peace agreement. The war had ended 2 years ago, but trust had not returned. This deal was supposed to change that. Commander Rex stood up, smiling. Rex, smirking. Today is a great day. Finally, peace between humans and Varniks. We may be very different, but we've taught each other one thing: humans always win with charm. Some humans chuckled. But on the other side of the table, Illyra's smile faded. She stood, slowly. Illyra. Calmly. Charm, Commander, is often a mask for weakness. Let us hope this agreement is stronger than your jokes. There was a pause. The room grew cold. Even the walls seemed to go quiet. But Rex only smiled more. He leaned in a little and whispered, "Just loud enough, Rex. Careful, Illyra. Too much pride can break even the smartest alien." That was it. One sentence, one insult, the kind of thing humans say without thinking. But to a Varnik's diplomat, it was war. Not with ships, but with minds. Illyra looked at Rex, her eyes glowing brighter for half a second. Then she nodded. Slowly, politely. "Illyra, of course, Commander. Let us sign the deal, for peace." They both pressed their thumbs to a glowing panel. The treaty was signed. The cameras flashed. People clapped. News spread across systems. Peace signed on Delta Prime. But deep inside her, Illyra felt nothing. No peace, no joy. Only fire. Later that night, Varnik's Corticellera stood. In front of a mirror, she touched her chest where the human pin had been placed, part of the gift exchange. She pulled it off. Her voice, though alone, was firm. "Illyra, he thinks he can insult me in front of 2 galaxies. And smile? That smile will be gone soon." Her assistant, Vork, stepped into the room quietly. "Vork, Ambassador, the deal is complete. Should we leave?" She turned, her eyes focused. "Illyra, no, not yet. I have a personal task." Vork blinked slowly. "Vork, you want revenge?" Illyra coldly, "I want correction." She looked out the window at the stars. Illyra softly, "He wanted to humiliate me in public. He will give me what he thinks I don't deserve. Power over him." She turned to Vork with a slight smile. "Illyra, arrange a private meeting with Commander Rex. Tell him I wish to celebrate peace." Human quarters. Moments later, Commander Rex was laughing with his crew. "Rex, did you see her face when I said that line? Classic. These Varniks really need to relax." A young officer stepped in. "Officer, Sir Ambassador. Illyra sent a message. She wants to meet privately tonight. She called it a celebration." Rex raised an eyebrow. "Rex? Oh? The mighty Illyra wants to talk now? Maybe she's starting to like me." He stood, fixing his jacket. Rex, grinning. "Fine, let's show her how humans celebrate peace." Private lounge. 1 hour later, the lights were dim. A soft alien drink glowed in crystal glasses. Rex walked in, alone. Illyra was already there, standing by the window. "Illyra, Commander, thank you for coming." Rex, charming, wouldn't miss it. Always happy to build relations. She handed him a glass. "Illyra, to peace." Rex, to new beginnings. They clinked glasses. The sound was soft, like a trap being set. Then the door closed behind them. The camera fades. The walls pulsed with soft blue light. Illyra stood still inside a dark chamber. She wasn't wearing her usual robes. This room wasn't for diplomacy, it was for planning. In front of her, strange lights danced in the air, holographic memories floating like smoke. One memory played again and again. Rex Marlowe smirking during the peace deal. His voice echoed in the silence. Too much pride can break even the smartest alien. She watched it without blinking. Illyra calmly, and human arrogance can be used like a weapon. She reached out and tapped the hologram. It shattered into sparks. Behind her, Vork entered the room quietly. Vork, everything is ready. The commander accepted your invitation. Illyra smiled, but it was not warm. Illyra, good. Then the first seed has been planted. Flashback, private lounge. Few hours ago, Commander Rex laughed as he sipped his drink. Rex, I'll admit, Illyra, you're not as cold as they say. Illyra leaned in slowly, her eyes calm but calculating. Illyra, we Varniks are slow too. Trust, Commander. But some humans have a certain charm. Rex smirked. Rex, see? I told you, we always win with charm. Illyra let the silence stretch. Then she moved closer, placing her hand lightly on his chest. Illyra softly. Then, show me. The camera fades as they disappear into the shadows of the lounge. Present time, Varnik's warship orbiting Delta Prime. Rex woke up alone. He was back in his quarters, confused, head aching slightly. He sat up, rubbing his face. Rex muttering, "What the hell?" He remembered the drinks, the talk, the spark between them. And then everything blurred. He touched his chest where her hand had rested. Suddenly, the intercom buzzed. Officer, on speaker. Commander, the Varnik ship just departed. Ambassador Illyra sends her regards. Rex stared at the wall. Something didn't feel right. 3 weeks later, Earth Diplomatic Council. Mars base inside a secure room. Chaos unfolded. Advisors shouted. Generals paced. At the center of the table, Rex stood, pale and silent. On the screen above, a message from Illyra. Behind her, glowing scans showed something alive. Her voice was calm. Illyra, on video, I carry his child. A hybrid, a creation neither side expected. Gasps filled the room. Illyra coldly, this is not a gift, this is balance. You humiliated me in public, Commander. So now, I carry your legacy in private, and I will raise it in my image. The message ended. Silence followed. Rex looked stunned. General Pharaoh. Is this true, Commander? Rex quietly. I don't know. I don't remember everything. Cut to Varnik's medical facility. Ellie sat on a high medical chair, surrounded by glowing monitors. A soft hum filled the air. Vork stood nearby, watching nervously. Vork, are you sure this is wise? A human Varnik's hybrid could be dangerous. Illyra, calm. That is the point. She touched her stomach, already showing signs of unnatural growth. Illyra, this child will not belong to one world. It will belong to both and to neither. That is how real power begins. Earth News Broadcast. Galactic Report. Breaking. Alien diplomat claims pregnancy with human commander's child. Peace treaty now under review. Protests erupt across Mars and Earth colonies. A protester yells, "Protester! It's a trap! The Varniks want war!" Back to Rex. Private quarters. Rex sat alone, watching the message over and over. Rex to himself. She planned this, from the beginning. He stood, staring out the window at the stars. Rex. And now? I don't know if I'm a father or a fool. Ending scene. Illyra's final words, voiceover. You gave me your pride. I will give you your consequence. And when this child is born, you will know what it means to be outplayed, human. The screen fades to black. Narrator, final hook. The revenge has begun. And no one, not even the father, can stop what's coming next. Beep, beep. A red emergency transmission flashes. On screens across Earth, Mars, Luna, and Titan, a news anchor speaks, his voice serious, eyes wide. Anchor, this is not a drill. The Varnix government has confirmed that their top diplomat, Ambassador Alira, is pregnant with a human child. The father, Commander Rex Marlowe of Earth's diplomatic corps. All across the solar system, people stop moving. Coffee cups fall. Mouths hang open. Anchor, continued, she calls it. The first hybrid heir, but is this peace or provocation? Scene. Earth Diplomatic Command. War Room Rex sat at a long table surrounded by generals, diplomats, and analysts. A massive hologram floated above them. Alira's medical scan. 2 heartbeats pulsed softly. General Pharaoh, what kind of child is this, Rex? What did you give them? Rex, low voice. I didn't mean to give them anything. Diplomat Lee, she used you. She wanted this. Rex stood slowly. Rex, tired, angry. You think I don't know that? I walked into her trap, and now the whole galaxy is watching. The room fell silent again. No one had answers. Just fear. Scene. Varnix Royal Dome. Alira's private quarters. The room was dark, silent except for the heartbeat monitor beside Alira. She lay back, eyes open, hand resting on her stomach. A light pulse came from within. She whispered softly, Alira, you grow faster than I expected, little one. You carry 2 worlds in your blood. One strong, one arrogant. Vork, off-screen. The child will be studied, controlled. Alira sat up. Alira, no, she will not be controlled. She will choose. And when she does, the galaxy will listen. Vork hesitated. Vork, you still see this as revenge? Alira, not revenge, evolution. Scene, Mars colony protest crowds marched through red streets, shouting, nitrogen monoxide hybrid rule. Keep Earth pure. Hologram showed Alira's face, eyes cold, powerful. Rex's face was sprayed with red paint on walls. Traitor. One protester yelled into a camera. Protester, this is not peace. This is genetic invasion. Scene, Rex's apartment. Security lockdown. Rex sat alone, watching old footage of himself giving peace speeches. In them, he looked confident, charismatic, in control. Now, he was silent. He turned off the screen. Then a soft chime. A message arrived. It was from Alira. Encrypted. Personal. He opened it. Her face appeared. Calm. Direct. No background, just black. Alira, on screen. You may not remember what happened that night. That's fine. You don't need to. Alira, pausing. But you do need to understand. This child is real, and she will know who you are. One day, she will ask me why you were afraid. Rex stared at the screen, heart pounding. Alira, she will not be your weakness. She will be my weapon. Message ends. Rex's hands shook. He wasn't just part of a scandal. He was part of a storm. Scene. Varnix nursery chamber. Later strange lights floated around. Alira, as medical drones checked her vitals. The child inside her kicked already. Too strong for its size. Even the machines beeped in confusion. Vork, nervous. The DNA is merging. Too well. It's adapting faster than anything we've seen. Alira, softly. Of course it is. She was made to be impossible. Scene, secret human lab, Earth DR. Yara Miles, a top geneticist, looked at the scans. Dr. Miles, this child. It's not just a hybrid. It's something else. A younger researcher asked, Researcher, should we be afraid? Dr. Miles didn't answer, but her face said enough. Ending scene. Black void. Narrator voice. A silhouette of the unborn child floats in darkness. Half human, half Varnix. 2 heartbeats echo together. Then suddenly, a third pulse. Faster. Stronger. Alien. Unknown. Space. Was quiet. A single ship floated in orbit above the glowing planet. Inside, Alira sat in the cold chamber. Lights blinked softly. Her breathing was steady, but her hands trembled slightly. Her stomach pulsed. Not with pain. With power. She looked down and saw her skin glowing faintly, like the child inside was trying to burn its way through. No words. Just heartbeat sounds. Thump thump, thump thump, thump thump. Suddenly, crack, the glass on the medical panel split. By itself. Scene. Earth, United Command debate room chaos. Everyone was shouting. Some called for military action. Some demanded peace talks. No one agreed on anything. General Pharaoh, slamming desk. She's weaponizing the child. This isn't diplomacy anymore, it's biological warfare. Dr. Miles, calmly. The child is unstable. Half human, half Varnix, and already showing traits we can't explain. Diplomat Lee, then we talk. We negotiate before this explodes. Senator Brooks, negotiate with what? A woman who used a human like a test tube? All eyes turned to Rex, sitting quietly in the corner. He hadn't spoken in hours. Rex, softly, she's not just doing this to punish me. She's trying to send a message. That her species doesn't need warships anymore. They can just birth the next weapon. Scene, Mars underground movement. Secret room. A group of masked humans gathered around a hologram of the child's scan. Leader, they said peace. But what did we get? Fear. Follower. What do we do, leader? We find the hybrid. We end this before it grows. They were preparing for something dark. Scene. Varnix Prime. Biochamber observation room medical. Alarms blared. Alira was in the chamber again. The child was growing too fast. Her skin was changing colors. Her voice echoed strangely now, sometimes in two tones at once. Vork, shouting, we need to slow development. Alira, eyes glowing, you will do nothing. She grows as she must. The room's energy surged. Machines overheated. Alira stood, hands on her belly, eyes filled with rage and awe. Alira. They fear her because she is their future. Scene, Earth, Rex's apartment. Night Rex watched old home videos of himself, laughing, alive, before all of this. His door buzzed. He opened it. Dr. Yara Miles stood outside. Dr. Miles, I ran another scan. It's not just accelerated growth. The child is rewriting both genomes. It's not half human, half Varnix. Rex, then what is she? Dr. Miles, she's something new, something above us. She handed him a chip. Dr. Miles, you should decide what to do with this. But soon, someone else will. Scene, global broadcast. Alira speaks. The Varnix ambassador appears on every screen again. She doesn't smile. She doesn't threaten, she just speaks. Alira, this child will not belong to Earth or to Varnix. She's not yours to fear. She is not mine to control. She will stand above both. Alira, pausing, you call this a scandal. I call it evolution. Screens go black. Scene, deep space. Human surveillance station technicians see something strange, a pulse of energy from the Varnix sector. Not a weapon, not a signal. Just life, too strong. Too far. Technician, sir, that's not a scan. That's a scream. Ending scene, unknown nursery pod. Internal view, we see the child. Floating. Eyes closed, skin glowing. Hair white like Alira's, but eyes when they blink open are Rex's. Suddenly, the child tilts her head, as if listening to voices. We can't hear. Then she smiles. No one's watching her. But she's watching all of us. Narrator, final hook. The child of two enemies is ready to open her eyes. And when she does, the galaxy may never blink again. Opening scene, inside the mind of the hybrid child. Darkness. But she wasn't asleep. She had no name yet. No face the world had seen, but she could think. And she was thinking all the time. The child thinking, what am I? A weapon? A message? A mistake? She had heard voices even before her eyes opened. Some soft, some full of fear, some angry. One was cold like ice, Alira. One was loud with guilt, Rex, and others she didn't recognize. The child thinking, they speak of me like I'm already chosen aside. But I haven't. I'm still choosing. Her fingers moved. For the first time, light began to enter her world. Scene. Varnick's medical facility, birth chamber. Lyra stood tall, silent, hands behind her back. Medical drones worked in panic as alarms rang. Drone. Cellular growth rate 900% above Varnick's average. Vork, whispering. This isn't birth, it's emergence. Suddenly, all systems shut down. Total silence. Then a soft hiss as the pod opened. Steam poured out. The child stepped forward, not crying, not confused, just awake. She looked no older than 5 human years, but her eyes were ancient. She stared at Alira. Child softly, you're the cold voice. Alira froze. Alira softly, you hear me? The child tilted her head. Child, I've always heard you, even when you called me revenge. Scene, Earth Intelligence HQ, emergency session back on Earth. Dr. Miles watched the live feed. Her hands shook as she paused the footage. Dr. Miles. She didn't cry. She spoke. Rex, staring. What did she say? Dr. Miles. She called Alira, the cold voice. Rex, she remembers. General Pharaoh, shouting. That thing is not a child. It's a biological bomb. We should act now before it acts first. Dr. Miles, then you still don't get it. She's not acting out of hate. She's acting like she's learning. Scene, Varnick's observation hall. Next day, the child sat calmly in the center of a circular room, watching diplomats argue behind a glass wall. She didn't move. She just listened. Her name was finally spoken aloud by Alira. Alira. We name her Nexira. She's both born and built. And now, she watches your fear like a mirror. Behind the glass, Rex stood frozen. He whispered, Rex, Nexira. Her head snapped toward him. She stared, quiet, then smiled. He stepped back. Rex, to himself. She knows me. Scene, secret human meeting. Later that night, a rogue Earth faction prepared weapons. Commander Vale, the child's first word, was you. She's already attached to her creators. Agent, so what's the plan? Commander Vale, we take her, or we end her, before she chooses wrong. Scene, Nexira's chamber. Night. Nexira sat alone, drawing on a screen. Shapes. Faces, symbols. Alira entered. Alira, you should rest. Nexira, you named me after both of you. Alira, shocked. You know that? Nexira, softly. I feel it. I carry it. She looked up. Nexira, but I'm not here to carry your pain. Or his. Alira didn't answer. Nexira calmly. I will choose what I become. Scene, Earth broadcast. Leaked video footage of Nexira speaking, leaked to the public. Across Earth. Fear grew. Some said she was divine. Others said she was the end. News anchor. Her existence now controls every government in this system. Not by violence, but by being. Ending scene. Nexira's voiceover starscape. See the galaxy from far away. Peace. Silence. But Nexira's voice breaks through. Nexira, voiceover. They call me a weapon. A bridge. A mistake. But I am none of those. Nexira, I am the question they never wanted to answer. Nexira, and soon, I will ask it out loud. Opening scene, 017, local time. Neutral zone embassy station. A soft alarm blinked red in the corner of the glass hallway. No sound, just a slow, pulsing red light. Inside the embassy's sleeping wing, Nexira opened her eyes. She sat up. Nexira. Quietly, they're coming. Scene 018, Varnick's wing. Same building. Alira paced in silence. Something was wrong. Her guards hadn't checked in. Her communicator blinked with a warning. Varnic's perimeter breached. She froze. Illyra. Whispering, "No. Not tonight." She bolted from the room, robes trailing behind. Scene 019. Earthwing. Rex's quarters. Rex sat in the dark, watching Nexira's interview again. The line that haunted him, "I am not here to carry your pain." Suddenly, his door slammed. Open. A soldier burst in. "Soldier. Sir, we have a breach in the lower corridors. Armed human extremists. They're not here for diplomacy." Rex's face went pale. "Rex, they're here for her." Scene 021. Central hallway. Nexira walked barefoot, calm. The alarm still blinked red. She didn't run. She didn't cry. She just listened. From one hallway, human boots. Guns. Breathing hard. From another, Varnic's guards yelling in their language. She sighed. "Nexira, you are all too loud to survive peace." She stepped into the shadows. Scene 023. Diplomat's emergency room. Illyra and Rex crashed into the same chamber from opposite doors. Guns raised at each other. For 1 second, it felt like war all over again. Illyra, angrily, "This is your fault, Rex. She's our responsibility now. You want her alive, or just right?" They stared. Then boom. An explosion rocked the building. The lights flickered. "Rex, we're out of time. Let's find her." For the first time in their lives, they ran together. Scene 026. The low-deck access corridor. A group of human extremists, faces masked, rifles loaded, stormed through the hallway. "Leader, radio. We neutralized the hybrid. No witnesses." But one by one, they stopped walking. Something was wrong. The lights dimmed. A wind blew through the closed corridor. Then a voice, soft and young, but everywhere. Nexira, echoing, "You come with anger in your blood. You will leave with silence in your bones." Suddenly, the soldiers dropped their weapons. Their ears bled. They screamed, but no sound came out, and then they fell. Scene 030. Communication. Tower roof. Nexira stood at the top of the embassy, looking out over the stars. She wasn't running. She was waiting. Rex and Illyra reached the rooftop, breathing hard. Side by side, they froze when they saw her. She turned. "Nexira, I didn't choose this moment, but I knew it would come." Illyra stepped forward. "Illyra, come with us. It's not safe." Nexira, gently, "No place is safe from fear. Not even inside you." Rex's voice cracked. "Rex, they'll hunt you now. You showed power." Nexira, smiling, "I didn't show it. I used just enough to make them stop." Nexira, "If I wanted to be a weapon, I would have already ended this building." Illyra's eyes welled, whether from pride or fear, even she didn't know. "Nexira, you both made me from hate, but I still choose to love." Scene 035. Outside the embassy. Human media drones hovered overhead. Soldiers stormed the gates. The galaxy was watching, and Nexira stood tall between two enemies, holding their hands for the first time. They looked like parents. Not diplomats. Not traitors. Just two people who created something bigger than either side could control. Ending. Scene, narrator voiceover. As cameras zoom out. Narrator, "They tried to end her with bullets and failed. They tried to define her with fear and failed." Narrator, "Tonight, diplomacy died. But something new was born." The child of peace, who learned to survive war. Opening scene, 63 years later. Museum of Galactic Peace, Luna. A group of students walk through a dark hall. On the wall, glowing words appear. "I was not born to take sides. I was born to end the line between them." Nexira teacher stands before a large screen, showing a paused image. A glowing young girl standing between two war-torn diplomats, Rex and Illyra. The teacher speaks. "Teacher, this was the night. The galaxy changed. Teacher, the child born from hate. The weapon born with mercy. Nexira, the voice who silenced every warship without firing once. The children lean forward as the screen fades into a reconstructed scene. Scene. Flashback. The Great Council Hall. 1 hour after the attack, a massive hall, filled with humans, Varniks, and dozens of alien species. Tension in the air, fear. Confusion, anger. Everyone expected an apology. Some expected surrender. Instead, Nexira entered alone. No guards. No parents. Just her voice. She stepped to the center and placed both hands on the speaker's platform. Nexira, calmly, "You think I'm here to choose a side. But I am not your sword," murmurs echoed. A Varnik's delegate whispered, "She's too young." Nexira, louder, "I'm old enough to feel your fear. And young enough not to carry your hate." She looked directly at the human generals. "Nexira, you fear I will destroy you." Then she turned to the Varnik's elders. "Nexira, and you hope I will elevate you." Nexira, "But I will do neither. I am not your weapon. I am your warning." The room fell silent. Scene. Observation deck. Illyra and Rex watched behind a glass wall. Illyra stood beside Rex. They didn't speak. They just watched the child they made stand taller than both their legacies. Rex, softly, "She's doing what we never could." Illyra, "She's speaking without wanting control. Seeing back to the great hell." Nexira raised both hands. Nexira, "Today I ask one question. If I, born from enemies, can stand in peace, why can't you?" Silence. One by one, species lowered their weapons. First the humans, then the Varniks, then others they had forgotten in war. And for a moment in time, the room was just still. Alive. Listening. Nexira, "My name is Nexira. I am not the future. I am your last chance to deserve one." Seeing years later, Earth Library of Diplomacy. A young girl walks through a massive archive. She opens a digital book titled The Nexira Accords. The first line reads, "Signed not in ink, nor blood, but in the presence of a child who carried both." Scene. Final moments. Elder Nexira voiceover. We return to Nexira, now much older, standing on a cliff under stars. Her eyes still glow. Her voice is soft, wise. She speaks to no one and to everyone. Nexira voiceover. I was born because two enemies could not control their pride. Nexira, but I lived because they learned how to let go of it. She turns to look at two stones behind her, Illyra and Rex, buried side by side. Nexira, they gave me life. The galaxy gave me purpose. Nexira, now I give back a gift. They never expected a future that belongs to no one and everyone. She smiles. Nexira, goodbye war. You were never strong enough to survive me. Final shot. Stars above. A bright new system glows in the distance. A child's voice echoes from far away. I am not the line between two worlds. I am the space where they finally shook hands. Narrator closing. Her legacy was not written in blood, but in the silence of guns that never fired again.